Hey guys, today I just wanted to do a quick review of the A7C, and obviously I know there's been a lot of reviews about this camera already because it was released I think in October, but I just wanted to do more like a user review after about 5 or 6 months of owning this camera, and just want to talk about how I feel about this camera regarding photography as well as videography. Hey everyone, just wanted to add a new section to my videos during which I highlight one of the comments from my previous videos. Today I am highlighting the comment that was made by Fabian Cruz, who mentions my videos looking a little bit flat, and to be honest I think he is right. I'm not very good at color grading, it's one of my weaknesses and I need to work on it. So today I try to improve that a little bit, and you can see that now. What do you think, Fabian or Fabian? Do you think it's better or worse? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments about my videos, if you have a question, if you just want to play my videos, or if you have some positive feedback, just let me know in the comments below and maybe I will highlight your comment next time. Alright, let's move on to the main video. Okay, so first of all, just let me talk about why I chose this camera. When I bought this camera, which was back in October, I had already been considering all of my options in terms of a camera purchase for many months. I wanted to buy a camera that would be allowing me to make videos, high quality videos. I wanted good autofocus. I wanted something that was full frame because I had been switching back between full frame and APS-C for quite some time, and to be honest I just like the results from a full frame sensor more, especially when it comes to photography. And I had already decided that I was probably gonna buy a Sony because I just like the autofocus performance and the auto exposure performance of these cameras. I had owned a Sony before, switched to Fuji, which wasn't a success. So I was like, nope, I'm going back to Sony. And then, yeah, it turned out to be the A7C. It added that flippy screen that I wanted because I make videos on my own quite a lot and I just need to be able to monitor myself. I wanted a full frame sensor, I wanted a compact body, and I wanted good autofocus. So after I bought the camera, I obviously also had to complete my lens lineup. And I'm just going to go through the lenses that I have quickly and the reasons why I bought them. So before I even bought a Sony camera, I had already bought this Samyang 18mm f2.8 because I work at a camera store and they had this traded in. Could get it for a very decent deal, I think. I think it's a very light lens that's wide, yeah, very useful for vlogging and stuff like that. And now that I bought the A7C, it matches specifically well because it's just so tiny. If you combine this with the A7C, you can even mount it on a gimbal like the Crane M2, which I showed in one of my previous videos. And I think that's just a very good combo. The second lens that I bought is actually the lens that I'm using right now, which is the 24 1.4. I think this is the lens that's on my camera the most, and that's mostly because I use it for my talking head videos. The 24 1.4, I just fell in love with it because of all the videos that I saw on YouTube, to be honest. I saw a lot of YouTubers using this lens.
Whoop! Oh, look at that 1.4, goodness. Oh, such butter!
Yeah, ever since then I just kind of wanted it, and I've had a lot of lenses in the past where I bought the budget version of lenses, and in the end you always kind of desire to upgrade to the next level. And with the 24 1.4 there is no next level really. This is the pinnacle of the 24 primes, and yeah, I'm very happy with this lens. And I also like it a lot for photography. I did some shots in the past, and especially when it's a little bit darker, you can still walk around with this lens and use it at 1.4. And yeah, the quality is obviously very well known. It's a very high quality lens. The third lens is this lens, which is the, let's see if it focuses, the Sony 135 1.8. This one I had a little bit more difficulty with because of the price. I bought it again secondhand, which was at a decent price. Otherwise I would have never bought this because it was just too expensive. But at the time I was kind of looking at 85mm lenses, and I tried the Sony as well as the Sigma 85 1.4. But after trying the 135, I was like, no, I I really want this lens instead. And the main reason is the close focusing capabilities of the 135. You can focus at about 70 centimeters, which is less than even the 85mm lenses. So for me, that adds a bit of versatility. I don't really do macro, but I do sometimes want to do close-up photos and videos, and the 135 is just perfect for that. The next and final lens at the moment is this little 35 Zeiss, which again I picked up at a decent price. I think full price it's kind of overpriced maybe. If you add this 35 with the A7c, you have a very small street photography kit, I think, and that's kind of why I added this one. You know, when I'm on a holiday, go for a stroll with the camera and one lens, then this would probably be it. So yeah, that's my lenses at the moment. I might add one more, which is maybe gonna be the Samyang 75 1.8 just to bridge that gap, but this is my setup for now and I'm very happy with it. Okay, let's move on to the review part of this video, because that is what I promised, obviously. I've used this camera now for about 5 or 6 months, mostly for video, but let's focus on the photography side first. I've obviously done some videos on this channel about photography, and to be honest, the results of the A7c have definitely not let me down. I think the images coming from this camera are great. The autofocus is obviously pretty amazing. The viewfinder is the only thing that was a bit of a concern for me at that time. And even though it's on the small side, to be honest, I've really gotten used to that and it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's perfectly usable for photography, and if you're looking for a small camera that you can just take with you easily, especially if you combine it with the small lenses, you have a very, very capable full-frame camera in a very small body. And if you're looking for a travel-friendly photography camera, the A7c is, I think, one of the best options you can find on the market. The viewfinder may be an issue for some, but it wasn't for me. The only thing that you do have to take into consideration is that it has a maximum shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second, and that can create some issues, especially if you combine it with the very low aperture lenses such as in 24 1.4. So in some cases you might have to use a filter, or you can use the silent shutter mode, in which it increases, I think, in 1/8000th of a second. So yeah, that hasn't been an issue for me. Whenever I have a very bright day, I just switch to the silent shutter mode, and that fixes that issue for me. And otherwise I would just put an ND filter on one of my lenses. So yeah, do take that into consideration. The A7 III there has an advantage over this camera, but other than that, I think the A7c is just a more complete camera, and especially if you want a small camera, I think this is just your best option. Okay, moving on to video. I think obviously this camera is mainly marketed for its video capabilities. It's a hybrid camera, but the video capabilities is kind of where it shines. If you compare it to the A7 III, this camera offers a better performance in terms of autofocus. So you have the eye autofocus in video, which is very useful for this kind of video. You also have the flippy screen, which just makes it easier to monitor yourself, and it's a camera that you can just rely on. So if you're looking for a camera for video, mainly for this kind of content, or just video content in general, you can just rely on this camera to do the job and make it easier for you. For example, the autofocus is just something that you don't really need to worry about at all. With the flippy screen, I can see that it's basically always capturing my face or my eyes wherever I am in the video. So it's just something that you don't need to worry about with a camera like this. Same goes for the exposure, although backlighting sometimes creates an issue, especially at 1.4. aperture. But yeah, in general, these Sony cameras, and especially this A7c with the newest technology, it's just very reliable in terms of the auto capabilities. I think the quality of the image is also very good, obviously, with this sensor. So yeah, if you're looking for a camera that you want to use mainly for video creation, maybe for content or maybe for vlogging and stuff like that, I think the A7c should definitely be on your list of considerations. It's just a camera that you can put on a tripod and it will do its job, and you can just focus on saying the right lines, which has been a struggle for me today. So I'm gonna end my video here. I think the A7c has been a very good camera for me over the last 5 or 6 months. It's definitely a camera that I would recommend, whether you're doing photography or videography, especially if you're doing both. I think this is just one of those hybrid cameras that is a very good quality, very convenient, and it's a very compact. So if you're looking for that kind of camera that you can always take with you, whether you want to take photos or videos, the A7c is definitely a camera that you should consider. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the A7c, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.